Kate one day was driving to work and accidentally went back to America.
I did.
Oh.
I did. It was accidental America, and I was so scared they weren't going to let me back in.
You know, everything scares me. I have a very low threshold for fear, or, I get scared a lot. So, just the fact that when I press play, then I hide my head.
I had not heard about the glowing reviews. That's fantastic news. I'm very excited.
All right. Hamish, Samantha, we have to talk. Right off the top, I will tell you, no, it's a good thing. Right off the top, I was an altar server for many years growing up as a kid, Catholic. And this series was just awesome. Let me just tell you right now, Father Paul, Hamish, you're no spoilers, but the homily on Ash Wednesday, I looked over at my mom. We watched it together. I said, he nailed that. It was just so good. And Samantha, we always had a Bev Keen at all the churches. There was always a Bev Keen.
Always a Bev.
All right, Hamish, we'll start simple. Tell me what scares you about midnight mass.
Everything scares me. I have a very low threshold for fear, or, I get scared a lot. So, just the fact that when I press play, then I hide my head because I know there's, but it's got the show, I will say, it rolls out, it draws you in. It's got a really wonderful pace to it. And everything is earned. It's not like one of those, which is what my life is.
Samantha, what intrigues you about Midnight Mass? Because going back to Bev Keen, again, no spoilers here, but
yes,
wow, she's something.
Yes, she is. And I mean, that is also what's so intriguing is for me to move through the world with her unrelenting point of view. And just, so for me, that was very exciting because, I filled with self-doubt and questioning, and is this the right thing? And is this the way I should live my life? And she doesn't have any of those questions. She is 100% certain in her path. And that was thrilling. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I really wish we could talk spoiler, but
I know.
I really, both of you, just wonderful jobs. Hamish, we'll go back to the priest thing. Cause again, I was an altar server and I looked over at my mom a couple of times and said, he's really got this. What did you have to study? How long did it take to become?
We had a wonderful technical advisor, a man of the cloth, who showed me everything I was supposed to do. Mike Flanagan, also an altar boy, and between the two of them, they weren't going to let me put a wafer wrong, frankly. So I had really strict observers hanging over my shoulder. And then I also just love the language, and I love wearing something shiny and form-fitting like a chasuble. So it was really a sweet spot.
Can I tell you that I actually noticed, and again, not giving anything away, but I noticed one particular scene where there was a color issue with, and I looked over at him, I said, hey, that's not what it's, and then it plays out and I was just like, wow. So that was kind of cool.
You caught it beforehand.
I did.
Love that. I love
Samantha,
that.
I did. I was the Mary and Barry. I did weddings and funerals growing up as a kid. That's what they called it. Mary and Barry. I only got paid at the wedding. So the others, Hey, so I want to ask you, Samantha, I want to get your thoughts on this, and then Hamish as well. Are you aware of the love that Stephen King is giving this series? He came out, I think it was maybe today or yesterday, and he loves it. Glowing reviews, loves what this is doing. Have you heard about that, Samantha?
I knew that he was watching it. I had not heard about the glowing reviews. That's fantastic news. I'm very excited.
Hamish, I'll give you the last word on that. What does it make you feel to know somebody like, honestly, I just saw the article and I was like, wow, he loves this.
No words. News to me. That's just phenomenal. That's that's being knighted by the king. He's the king on purpose,
I love it. It's so creepy even to hear your voice, Hamish. I'm sorry. But
that's all right, Dave. Don't worry about it, Dave. You're great, Dave. You did terrific today.
Oh my gosh, it's creepy. Kate and Zach, great work. But I will tell you right now, this is one of the craziest, and I mean that in a very complimentary way, one of the craziest series I've ever watched. I was an altar boy growing up. I'm Catholic. This was just insane to watch. Your characters go through a lot. In fact, if I could reach through this and give you both a virtual hug, I would do it because I really feel I just like you both went through so much.
What?
But how would you describe Aaron as it pertains to Midnight Mass?
Aaron is about the quality of light in Midnight Mass. There's a lot of darkness in Midnight Mass. And sometimes Aaron is like soft, gentle twilight light. And sometimes she's the burning sun that affects the angel in the way it does. And I think that's what Aaron does. She brings light to this show in a variety of ways.
Zach, same question for you. Now, I know I've mentioned it's terrifying. It's scary. We're getting ready for Halloween. This is a great one to get you in the mood. But your particular character, Riley, and again, no spoilers, but there's also depth to the redemption, the second chances, dealing with the family, his own battles, things like that. Your thoughts and reflecting on playing Riley Flynn in Midnight Mass?
He kind of represents almost the way, unfortunately, we treat a lot of people who have made terrible mistakes, who served. And that's what I love about his relationship to Aaron is, he served his time. He made an awful, awful mistake. He won't forgive himself. And I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of people who come out of prison or whatever, we don't give them a second chance. And Aaron's like the one person who happens to be, luckily it's, population 20. So, the one person is like, you're allowed to be alive. You paid your time. You made a mistake. We can work on not moving on as if it never happened, but like that doesn't define who you are for the rest of your life. And I think it's really hard for him because he is ultimately, a good person. It's hard for him to accept that because he's so ashamed of what he did.
Thank you for that. I wanted to bring up the different levels. Yeah, it's scary, but also the different levels to really what this series is all about. Kate, where did you all film? Because I feel like the location is another character for me.
Oh, definitely. The island is a character in this show. We were in and around Vancouver for the whole thing. We built your West Bank, the cottages, and we did the cat stuff on Stevenson Beach area. It's a park there, and we built it. And then the whole production got shut down for COVID, and we left for months. And when we came back, the town had looked completely overgrown and weathered, and that was just a blessing, one of very few blessings that COVID has brought into our lives. And the other place it shot was in Langley, which is a farm out like an hour southwest.
Kate one day was driving to work and accidentally went back to America. So
I did. I did. It was accidental America, and I was so scared they weren't going to let me back in, and I didn't tell anyone until weeks later. And I swore our assistant director to secrecy when I called her to be like, "Listen, okay, minor issue. I'm in America, but it's going to be fine. I don't technically have my passport because I wasn't planning on going to America today, so I'm going to be a little late." And that was true.
Thank you for sharing that story with me. Zach, I don't know if you both are aware, but Stephen King, the article just came out today, loves this. Singing your praises, both of you, all the entire cast, the entire series. How do you react to that? I mean, Stephen's the king, literally. And dude.
It's just cool. I mean, I was actually during an earlier interview with Kate where I heard that. And it's just cool to be like, wait, Stephen King watched something I did and he liked it? That's cool. It's just cool. I mean, that's really the only word you can put on it. And you hope everyone else feels the same way.
I love it. Kate, I'll give you the last word. Your thoughts on that?
Listen, I, for most of my life, would religiously read anything Stephen King recommended and watch anything Stephen King recommends. And I hope that it is no different for everybody else. It's always an iconic check mark to get when King likes it.
Kristin, Annabeth, it's great to see you both after getting through this series. I feel like I should reach out and give you both a hug right now.
Do it.
This is insane. And here's the kicker. I'm Catholic, okay? Kristin, I want to start with you. How insane is this? What were your first thoughts when you got the scripts, you read them? What were you thinking?
I was so invested right away once I understood the role. And I was also relieved because the audition scene I had done was so out of context, but also intriguing and wonderful, that then when I read them all, I thought, oh, I see. It just felt like a canon almost, you know. When we did our table read of all of the episodes with all of the cast, we were all just weeping uncontrollably by the end. It was just unbelievable. So I think it felt momentous to me.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. Annabeth, I want to know what intrigued you about this series and working on this particular, Midnight Mass.
Well, yes, just as Kristin said, I think it was a very momentous project. It felt like that. I knew I had worked with Mike before and a few of the other actors. So I knew the tribe that was regathering. And I knew that it was very beloved to Mike because of it was not your typical horror fare. Not that he ever does that anyway, but I knew that there was a depth because of the religious investigation that made it even more profound. So I was incredibly excited to jump on board.
Kristin, I want to ask about I told you I was Catholic, told you both that. I want to ask about the scenes where you're in Mass. And I don't want to give anything away, but I want to know what it was like. You like to go to Mass in this show. I will say that.
I like to go to Mass. I go to every Mass. Well, my son's done some things, and maybe I'm trying to find redemption for my whole family. It was really kind of amazing to be able to, I was not raised with a religion. I was raised with respect for all religions and also the Judeo-Christian principles that North America is sort of founded on. But the truth of the matter is, for me, it was a really incredible gift to be able to delve into such a devout woman and what is that faith? And at the end of the day, someone who is so loving and devoted. That was sort of the guiding principle, including as to why she might be going to Mass so often.
You touched on something that really made me think, it's terrifying at the core. But like you just mentioned, Annabeth, the fact that there is so many other things going in, I'm staying spoiler free, but forgiveness, second chances, morality. Annabeth, I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yes, those are all big words, right? Of redemption, morality, faith. What is faith? I think this tiny island is this beautiful microcosm for what we maybe all be also questioning at this time in our lives and in the culture, and whether it's the climate or politics or the virus. I think it's really asking us, this is an opportunity as a show to kind of explore some of those themes personally as well.